If you found this message, that means that, in the labyrinth of your own desires, you've stumbled upon a hidden chamber, a room where the flickering torchlight reveals not the expected treasure, but a shadow, vast and unsettling. You've felt it, haven't you? That insistent pull, the thrumming undercurrent that distorts the landscape of your conscious life. Lust, not the romanticized, airbrushed version peddled by culture, but the raw, untamed force that whispers in the dark corners of your psyche. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your most fervent aspirations, your most carefully constructed moral edifices, are built on a foundation of sand, shifting and crumbling with each surge of this primal tide. You believe you control your desires, chart your course with reason and intention. Yet, a phantom hand guides your steps, a silent puppeteer pulling strings you never knew existed. You preach restraint, yet your eyes betray a hunger that knows no bounds. You yearn for connection, yet you find yourself trapped in a cycle of fleeting encounters, each one leaving you more desolate than the last. How can a feeling so intensely pleasurable also be a source of profound anguish? How can the very thing that promises liberation become the chains that bind you? We are told to embrace our desires, to celebrate our bodies, to indulge in the sensual feast that life offers. But what if this celebration is a masquerade, a gilded cage designed to conceal a deeper, more troubling truth? What if the pursuit of pleasure, far from leading to fulfillment, is a relentless chase after a mirage, a phantom limb that aches with a longing it can never satisfy? You've felt the paradox, haven't you? The exquisite torment of wanting, the hollow echo that follows its supposed satisfaction. The way the world, with its endless barrage of images and promises, feeds this insatiable appetite, turning you into a consumer of fleeting sensations, a collector of empty moments. You sense the erosion of your soul, the gradual surrender of your autonomy, yet you feel powerless to resist. You're caught in a current, swept away by a force that seems both irresistible and inexplicable. Why does this craving, this burning desire, possess such dominion over us? Is it merely a biological imperative, a relic of our animal past? Or is it something more, a psychic force that taps into the deepest recesses of our being, a hunger that transcends the physical realm? Are we slaves to our bodies, or are we victims of a more insidious form of captivity, a prison built of our own unconscious longings? The questions linger, unanswered, like a haunting melody that refuses to fade. They gnaw at your peace, stirring a disquiet that whispers of a deeper, more profound unease. The world tells you to seek pleasure, to chase the fleeting high, to drown your sorrows in the sensory deluge. It promises liberation, but delivers only chains. It proclaims freedom, but offers only servitude. You feel the weight of this contradiction, the suffocating pressure of a truth you dare not acknowledge. And you know, deep down, that there is more to this story, a hidden dimension that lies beyond the surface of your awareness. The shadows lengthen, the questions deepen, and the hunger grows. Prepare yourself, for we are about to descend into the labyrinth of the unconscious, where the true nature of lust awaits. The hidden problem, the insidious force that binds us to this cycle of longing and dissatisfaction, lies in the neglected depths of our own psyches. Carl Jung, the cartographer of the soul, understood that lust, in its rawest form, is not merely a physical urge, but a manifestation of a deeper psychic tension. It is the shadow's insistent demand, the unintegrated aspects of ourselves clamoring for recognition. We are told to repress these darker impulses, to confine them to the cellar of our consciousness. Yet, what is denied expression festers, and what festers erupts. Jung recognized that the shadow, the repository of our rejected desires and instincts, holds immense power. It is the counterpoint to our conscious persona, the hidden face we present to the world. Lust, in this context, becomes the shadow's language, a primal scream that echoes from the depths of our being. It is the unmet need for wholeness, the desperate attempt to reconcile the fragmented aspects of ourselves. We seek external validation, fleeting moments of connection, hoping to fill the void within. Yet, each encounter leaves us more hollow, more estranged from our true selves. Society, with its relentless emphasis on external validation and instant gratification, exacerbates this problem. We are bombarded with images of idealized beauty and unattainable perfection, fueling a sense of inadequacy and longing. The marketplace of desire thrives on our insecurities, promising fulfillment through consumption and conquest. We are trained to equate pleasure with happiness, to chase the next fleeting sensation, without ever addressing the underlying hunger that drives us. This societal conditioning creates a psychic schism, a division between our conscious aspirations and our unconscious desires. We strive for control, for mastery over our impulses, yet we remain enslaved to the very forces we deny. We become actors in a play we did not write, puppets dancing to the tune of our repressed longings. The more we resist, the stronger the shadow grows, until it threatens to overwhelm our conscious awareness. Jung's concept of the anima and animus, the contrasexual aspects of our psyches, sheds further light on this dynamic. Lust, in many cases, is a projection of these archetypal energies onto others. We seek in our partners the qualities we lack within ourselves, the missing pieces of our own fragmented identities. This projection, while initially intoxicating, inevitably leads to disappointment as the idealized image crumbles under the weight of reality. The problem, then, is not lust itself, but our relationship to it. We treat it as an enemy to be conquered, a force to be suppressed. Yet, by denying its existence, we grant it power. We fail to recognize its symbolic language, its message from the depths of our being. We become strangers to ourselves, lost in a labyrinth of our own making. The relentless pursuit of pleasure, the insatiable hunger for external validation, becomes a substitute for true self-discovery. It is a distraction, a diversion from the arduous task of confronting our own shadows. We build walls around our vulnerabilities, seeking refuge in fleeting sensations, only to find ourselves trapped in a prison of our own design. The tension mounts, the unease deepens, as we sense the insidious nature of this self-deception. What unseen consequences await us if we continue to ignore the whispers of our own souls? The path ahead is fraught with peril, but the journey inward is the only way to break free. The unseen consequences of this unconscious dance with lust extend far beyond the realm of individual experience, silently shaping the very fabric of our personal realities and societal structures. Cognitive biases, those insidious shortcuts our minds take, amplify the shadow's influence. We become trapped in confirmation bias, selectively perceiving information that reinforces our desires, while dismissing anything that challenges them. We succumb to the allure of instant gratification, prioritizing immediate pleasure over long-term fulfillment, a neurological predisposition exploited by the very systems that perpetuate our enslavement. Cultural conditioning plays a crucial role in normalizing this distorted relationship with desire. We are bombarded with narratives that equate lust with power, success, and desirability. The entertainment industry, advertising, and social media all contribute to this illusion, creating a culture of constant stimulation and insatiable hunger. We become addicted to the dopamine rush of fleeting encounters and superficial connections, mistaking fleeting pleasure for genuine intimacy. This cultural conditioning seeps into the very core of our relationships. We build them on the shaky foundation of projected desires, seeking in our partners the fulfillment of our own unmet needs. We confuse infatuation with love, mistaking the intensity of lust for the depth of true connection. When the initial spark fades, we are left with the hollow echo of our own unmet longings, and the cycle begins anew. The consequences extend beyond the individual, permeating the collective consciousness. We witness the objectification of bodies, the commodification of desire, and the erosion of genuine human connection. The relentless pursuit of pleasure fuels a culture of consumption, where individuals are reduced to objects of desire, and relationships are treated as transactional exchanges. We become trapped in a feedback loop, reinforcing the very patterns that perpetuate our suffering. The power of this unseen trap lies in its ability to operate beneath the surface of our awareness. We are unaware of the extent to which our desires are being manipulated, our perceptions distorted, and our choices limited. We believe we are acting freely, yet we are merely following the script written by our unconscious longings and societal conditioning. The insidious nature of this trap lies in its ability to erode our sense of self. We become strangers to ourselves, lost in a maze of projected desires and external validation. We lose touch with our authentic selves, our true needs, and our deeper longings. We become hollow shells, chasing after fleeting sensations without ever addressing the underlying hunger that drives us. The urgency of escaping this unseen trap cannot be overstated. The longer we remain enslaved to these unconscious patterns, the more deeply entrenched they become. We risk losing our capacity for genuine connection, our ability to experience true intimacy, and our very sense of self. The weight of this realization begins to settle, a chilling premonition of the consequences that await if we continue down this path. The need for a radical shift in perspective grows, a desperate yearning for a way out of this self-imposed prison. Yet, the path to liberation remains shrouded in mystery, a hidden path that demands courage, introspection, and a willingness to confront the shadows that lurk within. The rebellion against this unseen tyranny begins with a radical shift in perspective, a willingness to challenge the very foundations of our beliefs about desire and fulfillment. It demands a counterintuitive approach, a recognition that true liberation lies not in the pursuit of pleasure, but in the confrontation of our own shadows. We must turn our gaze inward, into the labyrinth of our unconscious, and face the demons we have long denied. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of integrating the shadow and achieving wholeness, offers a roadmap for this rebellion. It is a journey of self-discovery, a descent into the depths of our being, where we confront our repressed desires and acknowledge their power. This process is not about eliminating lust, but about understanding its symbolic language, its message from the unconscious. We must learn to differentiate between the raw, untamed force of lust and the deeper longing for connection and wholeness that it often masks. We must recognize that the relentless pursuit of external validation is a futile attempt to fill an internal void. True fulfillment lies not in the fleeting embrace of another, but in the embrace of our own authentic selves. This rebellion demands a radical reevaluation of our relationships. We must move beyond the transactional exchanges of projected desires and superficial connections and cultivate genuine intimacy based on vulnerability and authenticity. We must learn to see our partners not as objects of desire, but as fellow travelers on the path to wholeness. Historical examples abound of those who dared to challenge the prevailing norms and reclaim their autonomy. The mystics, the poets, the artists, the philosophers, they all understood the power of the shadow and the importance of integrating it into the conscious self. They sought not to suppress their desires, but to understand their symbolic meaning, to transform them into sources of creative energy and spiritual growth. Practically, this rebellion begins with simple yet profound acts of self-reflection. Start by journaling, allowing the uncensored thoughts and feelings to flow onto the page. Pay attention to the patterns of your desires, the triggers that ignite your lust, and the emotions that accompany them. Meditate, not as an escape from your thoughts, but as a space to observe them without judgment. Engage in active imagination, a Jungian technique that allows you to dialogue with your shadow, to understand its fears, its longings, and its hidden wisdom. Cultivate mindfulness in your daily life, paying attention to the subtle cues of your body and your emotions. Learn to recognize the difference between genuine connection and the fleeting rush of dopamine. Seek out art, literature, and music that challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of the human experience. Engage in honest conversations with trusted friends or therapists, sharing your vulnerabilities and exploring your deepest fears. This rebellion is not a solitary endeavor. We must create communities of support, spaces where we can share our struggles and celebrate our triumphs. We must challenge the cultural narratives that perpetuate our enslavement and create new stories that celebrate authenticity, vulnerability, and genuine connection. The path to liberation is not easy. It demands courage, perseverance, and a willingness to confront the darkest corners of our own psyches. But the rewards are immeasurable: a sense of wholeness, a deeper connection to ourselves and others, and a life lived with authenticity and purpose. The power to reclaim your autonomy is within reach, and the tools to break free are available. The chains are not unbreakable, but they demand a fierce and dedicated rebellion to be shattered. The ultimate truth, the final and most powerful realization, is that lust, in its essence, is a distorted reflection of a deeper longing, a yearning for the lost connection to our own wholeness. It is a symptom, not the disease itself. The disease is the fragmentation of our psyche, the alienation from our authentic selves. To conquer lust, we must first conquer the internal division, the chasm that separates our conscious aspirations from our unconscious desires. We have been taught to see lust as an enemy, a primal force to be suppressed or indulged. But Jung's wisdom reveals a different truth. It is a messenger, a carrier of unconscious information. It points to the missing pieces of our puzzle, the aspects of ourselves that we have rejected or ignored. It is a call to integration, a summons to wholeness. The paradigm shift lies in understanding that the pursuit of external pleasure is a futile attempt to fill an internal void. We seek in others the qualities we lack within ourselves, the missing pieces of our fragmented identities. But true fulfillment cannot be found in the fleeting embrace of another. It resides in the embrace of our own authentic selves, in the integration of our shadows, and in the cultivation of a deep and abiding connection to our own being. The journey inward is the only path to liberation. It is a descent into the depths of our unconscious, a confrontation with the demons we have long denied. It is a process of self-discovery, a reclamation of our lost wholeness. And it is a journey that demands courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to embrace the darkness within. We must learn to see lust, not as a threat, but as a guide, a compass pointing us towards the areas of our psyche that require attention. We must learn to decipher its symbolic language, to understand its message from the unconscious. It is not about eliminating desire, but about transforming it, transmuting its raw energy into a force for creative expression and spiritual growth. This transformation requires a radical shift in our relationship to our bodies. We must move beyond the objectification of the flesh and cultivate a deep respect for the wisdom of our instincts. We must learn to listen to the whispers of our bodies, to honor their needs, and to integrate their messages into our conscious awareness. The final revelation is that true intimacy is not found in the fleeting moments of physical connection, but in the deep and abiding connection to our own souls. It is a communion with our authentic selves, a merging of our conscious and unconscious aspects. It is a state of wholeness, a state of being in which we are no longer driven by the relentless pursuit of external validation, but guided by the inner compass of our own truth. The chains of lust are forged in our own self-alienation, in the denial of our shadows, and in the relentless pursuit of external validation. But the key to liberation lies within us, in the courage to confront our own darkness, and in the willingness to embrace the wholeness that awaits. Imagine for a moment the freedom that comes from reclaiming your autonomy, from breaking free from the chains of unconscious desire. Imagine the profound sense of peace that accompanies the integration of your shadows, the merging of your conscious and unconscious selves. Imagine the depth of connection that becomes possible when you move beyond the transactional exchanges of projected desires and embrace the vulnerability of genuine intimacy. This is the ultimate truth, the final and most powerful realization. You are not a slave to your desires. You are the master of your own destiny. The power to transform your relationship to lust, to reclaim your wholeness, and to live a life of authenticity and purpose resides within you. The journey is arduous, but the destination is profound. Let the echoes of this revelation resonate within you, urging you to embark on the path of self-discovery, to confront the shadows that lurk within, and to embrace the wholeness that awaits. The path is before you. Take the first step.